Grand Rising, how you doing? Beautiful people, Grand Rising. I'm Chosen Joseph. This is my testimony, and this is going to be called Saint Germain, my personal experience with Saint Germain. Um, I've had it in a podcast, but um, you know, we gotta. I think it's the end of the podcast. So, but I, it was the year was 2021. Yeah, 2021. The little pandemic just occurred. It was still kind of up and down. And I'm gonna tell you from my perspective right now. At the time, from my perspective now, I was under a lot of warfare. I was a shoe salesman at Dillard's. They had people that worked there that were witches and warlocks, and um, it was yeah, it was just I made the best out of it. Um, but one thing I can say that what led to what I'm about to tell you is there was a healing that I found online, and it was like it's like somebody recorded this at like one of these little expos or something, and something just told me. I got up one Grand Rising and I put that YouTube to MP3 or MP4 converter, and I had it on my Android. So what I did was I got the video and I converted it and I put it in my phone. And that's a little tip from an angel. Um, Whether it be frequency, videos, or whatever you would want to watch, get you an Android and get a YouTube to MP3 or YouTube to MP4 converter. Um, or go to one online and then convert your stuff and organize it. You can use your phone. Your Android phone can be like a little toolbox kit, you know? Like you got a fish and tackle box, you got your hooks right here, you got your worms right here, you got your lures right here, your floaters right here. Same thing with your cell phone. And I'm telling you from a personal Earth Angels experience. Um, so this is part of my testimonies. I'm kind of like throwing a bunch of them together. My website's expanding, my YouTube page expanding, my business is expanding. I'm a world-renowned healer. Um, just you listening to this, you're getting healed. I'm one of the best, if not the best, healers in the world. Um, One of the best magicians in the world. One of the most, if not the most powerful light worker in the world. Chosen one. And I'm gonna shut the fuck up right there because I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn. I just want to get that out the way. So, anyways, 2021, COVID's dwindling down, or what we thought was dwindling down, which means they wasn't talking about it as much. And like I told you before, I can say now I was under a lot of warfare. Um, and the way you know you are, like from that perspective, there's gonna be a lot in this video, but I'm gonna give you a lot of good little gems in here. Um, is before I went to Dillard's, I was working at Arby's. I was like the maintenance guy at Arby's, basically doing the grease. I was like maintenance slash fry. So I was like doing when the trucks came in, I'd do the trucks and yada 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 yada. But when it happened, now I know what it was. But I was working at Arby's, and there was this one dude there. He was pretty fucking cool, man. He would like every lunch break, man. He would let me go to his truck and we'd smoke reefer and come back in Arby's like looking like Cheech and Chong, right? And it'd be great. I don't know what the dude's up to now. I wish him the best. But at the time of my life, going and having that job experience, I just got out of a relationship, which is a whole other story. Um, at the time, I did love her. I didn't realize there was much more going on behind the scenes. We don't have to talk about that though. But I did love her. I missed her, and my love was genuine, purest love you can get. Say that unbiasedly, and yeah, kind of like at the time back then, it right here, it didn't feel too good. So me working, distracting myself, and smoking reefer and laughing as much as possible was great. So something wound up happening at Arby's. This girl snitched on us, said we were fucking smoking weed. They piss tested everybody. I'm a professional. I passed the piss test. The dude that was providing the weed didn't pass the piss test. He got mad. I had my job. He didn't. I went back to work, said, fuck you. I'm out. It was pretty cool. I didn't stay there. I passed it though. So I went to Dillard's. I worked at Dillard's, and then the feelings I was getting, like just feeling antsy or anger out of no reason, your thoughts were little. That was a sign of warfare. So, like I said, I went online. I got my phone. I looked up a Saint Germain video. I had a healing. I can't quite remember it. I would share it with you. I might put it on my website or put it on my YouTube page one day. But it was at an expo, and the dude did a healing. He called in Raphael, and then he called in Saint Germain. Um, and in this healing, Saint Germain, from the time you listen to it, Saint Germain stays with you for like the next 3 to 7 days and works with you, right? So I'm doing these healings, and I'm making good sales, man. I'm having fun. I work with some very beautiful women. Uh, Not as beautiful as Megan though. She's a baby doll. But and there was this one day, I kept seeing like in the corner of my eye, like these violet fire orbs, big orbs, like not no little orbs like this. I'm talking like orbs, like it looked almost magenta, like at the corner of my eye, and I kept seeing them everywhere. And at the time, I didn't know Saint Germain's nickname was the Count Saint Germain. I wasn't aware of this, right? So I'm in the shoe department and I'm doing my thing, and this gentleman walks in there, the most perfect mustache, the most beautiful energy. Like, he was just amazing, right? And I never really seen a recent picture of Saint Germain, so I wasn't, you know, like, oh, this is Saint Germain. I figured it out like years later. I put two and two together. I learned his name was the Count. So I'm in the shoe department, and he's talking to me. He knew so much about so much stuff. I'm just sitting here like this dude knows his shit, bro. Like this, he was talking about this and talking about that, talking about this and the vaccine, like going off. I'm like, I said, man, you know your stuff, bro. And he kind of grinned at me. He's like, yeah, I know. He says, you tell me a couple of your stories. So I told him a couple of my stories, and he's like, yeah. He says, you're a pretty bright young man. And he says, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna buy me a belt and I'm gonna give you a pair of socks. And the belt and the socks was like right behind the counter. So got the belt and the socks for him, and something told me to shake his hand and say, I'm Joseph. And I shook his hand and said, hey man, I'm Joseph. It was nice talking to you. And I felt an energy hit my hand, but I didn't say nothing. He says, nice to meet you, Joseph. He says, they call me the Count. And I'm shaking his hand like, all right. And because I'm like wondering, I'm like, this dude fucking like Halloween or something? Like Halloween wasn't even like near. It might have been like a month out of Halloween. You know what I mean? And he's like the Count. I'm like, it's like the whole fucking time. I go to lunch like right after this happens, and I go to lunch and I'm thinking, I was like, who the fuck is the Count? Like this dude must love Halloween. I wasn't trying to make fun of the guy, but cut make a long story short, now that I backtrack, I was under heavy warfare at the time. He came to my fucking work to fucking to fucking protect me. Saint Germain took physical fucking form and came to my motherfucking work to introduce himself and to slang some fucking shit that was coming my way back to sender. Saint Germain showed up to my fucking work in person, shook my hand, everything. He's with me right now. He's literally with me right now. Um, but that one experience right there, like it could be. There's other ones I could talk about, but Saint Germain is a very good person to work with. He's a ascendant master of the seventh ray of the Chohan, the Violet Fire. And Violet Fire is the transmutator of all. It turns anything that is not the light into light. Alchemy. Look up the Count Saint Germain on YouTube. You can find some good videos about him right there. Um, the Count Saint Germain again. He's a great guy. He took physical form, came to my work, and showed me he was there and everything. I can talk about it now and not cry, but yeah, he showed up at my work. And when I learned this, like years later, when I then moved out of state because the hurricane hit my town, I was crying like a baby. I'm like, he loves me that much. A Chohan, Ascendant Master Chohan of the Great White Brotherhood, took physical form and came to my fucking work to introduce himself and talk to me. Yeah, and that is the truth. And that's that. And I thank you for tuning in. God bless you. I'm Chosen Joseph. Peace.